At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like knowing you're covered when your house gets flooded, getting your settlements quickly and fairly when a fire hits your home, and making sure your business can keep going even after an accident happens on site. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
The Nevis Tourism Authority will be concentrating its efforts in the U.S. that could be source markets for tourists to Nevis. CEO of the NTA, Greg Phillip, told SKN Newsline that NTA will be increasing its marketing presence in Florida, the northeast of the U.S., and Minneapolis.
Well, in the U.S., there's some places that, well, we haven't really concentrated on so much, and some of them places like areas in Florida itself. I think usually think of Florida and Miami specifically as a place where people are just transiting through, but statistics really show that the Miami area and other places in Florida are really places where we get people from. So those are good source markets for us. So we're going to be looking into those areas and concentrating a bit more, and also into the Northeast. It's the Northeast itself as a region is really the greatest source market for us in St. Kitts and Nevis, and our focus is going to increase there in the Northeast. And then we're going to look at some other places that maybe are not obviously conventional places where we expect that lots of tourists will come from, but we're going to start looking at places like Minneapolis, because we know that the weather is terrible there, and because of that, many people from there do travel to the Caribbean already. That they are doing cruises. We also know that they are visiting a lot of the other Caribbean islands. So it's time for us in St. Kitts and Nevis specifically to really begin to tap into those source markets.
Mr. Phillip expects the 2017-2018 tourism season will be better than the last one. The bookings for hotels on Nevis are shaping up pretty well, according to NTA CEO.
The indications are many, I think. Firstly, we have to look at the bookings and how they're shaping up for some of the hotels here in Nevis. They can already see that this season, being November, December, and also into the early part of next year, the bookings are already looking good. So that is a very good plus for us.
Meanwhile, concerning Nevis cruise tourism, Mr. Phillips said this was also shaping up well for the new season.
We can also look at cruise on Nevis, and yes, Nevis does have cruise. I always have to say that, and also to explain that, for Nevis, cruise or cruise effort is really more of one that really signify that we are doing it in a very, very specific way. We target very specific ships, the smaller, more high-end ships, because we really feel that those ships contribute more to what we're looking at in terms of the tourism industry on Nevis and the types of hotels that we have. So for us, while cruise itself is important, it's really a means to an end, which is eventually to get more people to come and stay on the island. So when we talk about cruise, I can tell you that as we speak, we're up just over 100 cruise calls already listed already for the year next year, for this cruise season, not just next year, but the end of this year and into next year. And the cruise season really begins this week for us.
Mr. Phillips said the NTA has been targeting the romance tourism business and should be seeing the fruits of those efforts next year.
We're doing a lot of work quietly. In some cases, you could say, on the romance scene. We really think that with Nevis getting so many accolades every single year from publications like Caribbean Journal and also USA Today saying that Nevis is the most romantic island in the world, we continue to get that. So since that's the case, we have been going after the romance business, and I think that quietly we have been on Nevis building that, and eventually beginning next year we really expect that we're going to begin to see the fruits of our labor come to fruition.
He said while Nevis would want to market to other destinations outside of the U.S. for different times of the year, financial resources to do this are limited. I'm Chantel Rochester for SKN Newsline.